20 years have now passed since 9/11. How did that tragic event, another day of infamy, change American society? Is the USA now safer, better protected from another similar act of terror? Well, joining us to provide some insights is Michele Bachmann, former member of Congress and Dean of Regent University's Robertson School of Government. Dean Bachmann, it's good to see you again. So please tell us, is the United States more or less safe than it was 20 years ago?
I hate to respond, it is far less safe. In fact, it's extremely dangerous. I would say we're red alert status here in the United States. If you couple together an open southern border where literally millions of people are crossing our southern border, they're all unvetted, every single one of them. They're coming into the United States, and now you couple that together with the absolute collapse in Afghanistan of what we had, our effort for 20 years. And then you see the mass migration of refugees out of Afghanistan and surrounding areas to all places in the world. We have got a hot, very tragic set of circumstances on our case, and we don't see a State Department, we don't see a Department of Defense, we don't see even our law enforcement agencies at the federal level in a situation where they are doing something about this. And so the American people are kind of on their own here as far as national security goes. We have never been in a place like this before, ever, because the United States unilaterally relieved ourselves of almost $90 billion worth of weapons to terrorist organizations, many of which have already made their way to Iran. So we have weaponized very bad people who have designs and intentions to destroy the United States of America and our ally Israel. We've never been in a place like this before, Gary.
Well, we've been strengthening our enemy. So now on the domestic side, how do you think 9/11 changed our society for the better or for the worse? Especially, I'm thinking when it comes to privacy issues.
It was a shattering. 9/11 was a shattering of the United States internally. Everyone knows that the United States was attacked at the epicenter of our economic forces and also at our military forces. And what was the response from the United States Congress? To pass bill after bill after bill. We were told that it was for protecting the American people, but really what it's done, it's invaded the privacy of American businesses, of American individuals, all to set up giant databases that are controlled by the federal government. And so what we've seen since 9/11, 2001, is big tech marrying up with big government, and that's come at the expense of privacy for the average American citizen.
And perhaps cyber warfare poses a greater threat to the United States. Earlier this year, we saw cyber attacks against oil and gas and meat supplies, most recently at Howard University, of all places. So how prepared are we to tackle that growing threat?
I would say we are not, unfortunately. This has been ongoing. The chief offender of cyber warfare is China, without a shadow of a doubt. I served on the Intelligence Committee, and there was a long study that was done, and it was clear China is the chief offender. They steal from corporate espionage, they steal from the federal government, they steal from private individuals. It isn't just that, though, Gary, that we are living through bio-warfare as well. That bio-warfare, in all likelihood, is from China also, that they are behind the Wuhan virus. And so if that is the case, look what they have done to bring down not only the United States of America, but the world. If you look at the collapse in Afghanistan, you ask yourself, who benefited from this collapse? If you look at the expanse of the virus here in America and across the world with COVID, who benefits? The conclusion, again, points to China. So China is not a good actor. But I think this is very sobering, but something that we need to understand, Gary, and it's this. I believe that the United States of America, as much as I don't want to say this, I believe that we have lost our superpower status on the global stage. Yes, we have military superiority, but we remember, again, Joe Biden lost a war that won by people that are riding around on pickup trucks with AR-15s.
And finally, today, Regent University is holding a virtual broadcast, 9/11, a 20-year retrospective. Tell us a bit about it and how can people watch it?
we're featuring an interview that I will be doing with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, with the man who is the police commissioner of New York City on September 11th, 2001. That's Bernie Kerik. I also interviewed Attorney General John Ashcroft, who is U.S. Attorney General on the day of September 11th, and the Secretary of the Navy, Admiral Vern Clark, as well as many others, including Rabbi Jonathan Cahn, who wrote the best-selling book, The Harbinger. I think the viewership will be extremely grateful that they watch this, but then to go back to regent.edu/911, regent.edu/911 for absolute must-see TV for a retrospective of September 11th, 2001 until today with the collapse of Afghanistan. It is the hottest topic and the hottest issue out there.
A significant event and some hard hitters there. Okay, Michele Bachmann, former member of Congress, Dean of Regent University's Robertson School of Government. Thank you for sharing your time and your insights.
Thank you, Gary. I appreciate it.